Greetings and welcome to this week's magical message. I pray you all have had a wonderful weekend. And, I want to say that over the last couple of weeks, every time I tried to pull to do a reading for that week, something came up where I wasn't able to do it. And, as much as I tried to push to do it, it just wasn't working. And I was like, okay, so I'm not supposed to give a message, for these couple of weeks. And, I trust that whatever the reason is, it is divine. Sometimes, spirit just calls you to kind of bring your energy back in. And so you all may have experienced some of that energy as well. Maybe you all were going through experiences or just having things where you felt like you needed to kind of be in your own bubble over the last couple of weeks. So, we are going to keep moving and flowing with spirit. And, we're going to have a good time while we do so. All right. So the overview for this week is pretty positive, actually. The overall reading is really positive. It was a really refreshing reading to do, especially because there were a few weeks in there, like it was just back to back to back, some really intense energy. And this has its own intensity, but this does not feel burdensome, right? This feels like it's actually releasing a lot of those burdens. So we start off with Three of Knives, and I did this for you, sacrifice and signature. So this really feels like there's something that's taking place, something that it could be something that's coming out, but it's something that's taking place that is going to allow you to have some renewal. And it may be that someone was willing to open a door for you or make some kind of sacrifice for you. But you're coming out of what could have been a very challenging time, could have been a very difficult time, just moving through maybe some betrayals, moving through perhaps even like accidents and things of that nature. Or just energies that were just kind of wonky. The Three of Knives can talk about betrayal. It can talk about heartbreak and that kind of thing. But this energy is really uplifting from that space. So it lets me know that this is energy that you're moving out of, that we're moving out of. And it took something for this to take place, whether the energy supporting you are living people or whether they are your spirit team. It took something, and it was more than just you that made this happen, right? And it may have even taken some sacrifice to get over this hump, right? This thing that could have been very destructive in your life, it's like you didn't let it become that. You allowed for things to play out. You allowed for yourself to see what things really were, who people really were, what situations really were. And because of that willingness to just sit and be silent, to sit and observe, you're being rewarded this week, right? You're coming out of that cloud, whatever that cloud was in your life, you're coming out of that space. And then we have the Father of Baskets with the Daughter of Baskets, right? So we have father and daughter here. And she brings good news. Daughter Baskets brings really wonderful news. Father Baskets is all about provision. It's all about using your wisdom and, what it is that to achieve the best results, right? And this particular, for this particular card, it talks about him having had gone out and done all of his fishing, gotten all of his supplies, all of the things that his family would need, right? And he's done it early in the morning. So this is work that's already been done. And he's looking on to the people who are just now coming out, just now doing what it is that they need to do, right? But he took care of his business early. And again, there's reward for this. There's also come back to me pregnant and offering. So someone has some huge offering, this good news that they're bringing. And it's an energy of like, it says come back to me, but I also feel this energy that's like come back to yourself, coming back within yourself. And so some of you, even this week, you may feel a little hermit-like. You may feel the need to kind of just rebalance yourself, do some self-care, love on yourself. And it feels like, you're provided for, right? Because of these provisions, you have the ability to take the time that you need to do what you need to do. And it also is bringing in some goodness, right? It's some kind of really good news, some really juicy news that's coming up. And we're going to get into that a little bit as we get into more of the, the segmented week. But you also have the Six of Sticks, which talks about victory, having overcome challenges. and he's writing in to give the good news, right? And then you have Miss Robinson in reverse. And as soon as I laid that card down, it was like somebody is getting whatever was owed to them, right? And it doesn't look like it's a positive thing. So I don't feel like this is you, but I feel like this is whatever energies you have been observing, whatever energies you overcame, right? There's clarity, there is justice is coming in, there are provisions for what had been in lack. Maybe maybe you were dealing with somebody who had stolen. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who was just taking from your energy, like an energy vampire. But everybody in this is getting what they're due. You're coming out successful. You're coming out on top, and they are being exposed. We have documents and abuse to support Miss Robinson and the Six of Sticks. And this energy really talks about either there were documents that were not in your best interest, or people were using or attempting to use documents to move against you, right? But this really feels like, maybe there was something illegitimate about these documents, but all of that is coming out, and it's like it's being shown. And I don't necessarily even feel like it's something that you had to consciously do to make this happen. I feel like it is just a natural course of what's been happening. But you're getting good news about this victory. You're getting good news about having had come out on top, regardless to whatever, this Miss Robinson card and documents and abuse speak to. So some really transformative energies. It really feels like there is a need to celebrate, but also a deep need to just be with self this week, to be able to reconcile and really spend the time that you need reflecting so that you can understand all the little pieces that came together or that happened to make this take place, to make this come together, right? So make sure you all are taking the time that you need. Don't feel rushed to have any particular conclusion. The more that you allow for that clarity to just naturally flow in, the easier it's going to be in terms of doing what it is that you need to do moving forward, right? If you try to rush it, you could get some of it, and then you might miss some of those things that are really important. So make sure you take your time this week. And success is destined to come, right? Just allow for these things to continue to flow. Now we have the beginning of the week with the Seven of Coins, Eight of Sticks, and Railroad Bill. Okay, so the Seven of Coins talks about, basically recognizing your value, realizing where it is that you put those things of value, that investment, the time, the energy, where are you putting those things? Are those things serving you? But it feels like, you're realizing that those places were not the places that really were worthy or deserving of your dedication. Okay. And then you have the Eight of Sticks and Railroad Bill. Eight of Sticks talks about things moving in really fast, like lightning speed fast. And Railroad Bill is like something that has been long in the making, finally coming to fruition, finally getting to that point. And that's paired with the Strength card. Overall, for the beginning of the week, is Whispers on the Wind. So again, messages coming in. You may, in the beginning of the week, like Sunday, even like early Monday, you may not be completely clear as to what exactly this thing looks like, but it's already been set in stone. It's already there. So you're getting the messages, you're getting the guidance and the intuition. And it is through your strength. It is through your dedication and your willingness to commit to yourself. And even when that means that you take back what it is that you have given out, you take back what it is that has been stolen, you take back all of those things that truly rightfully belong to you because they were in places that were unworthy of them. It's taken a lot of strength to do that. It's taken a lot of reflection. It's taken a lot, period, to get over or move through those lessons that teach you about valuing self, right? And really doing what's necessary to commit to self, right? Sometimes, as surprising as it can sound, it can be harder to commit to self than it is to commit to something or someone else, right? We can so often put ourselves on the back burner. Meanwhile, because we have put ourselves on the back burner, we're not being present with our boundaries. We're not being present with what it is that we need, what it is that is important to us, or how someone or something is not in alignment with us, right? Because we're worried about this other person. When really, first and foremost, you have to think about yourself. You have to think about what this is going to look like, what this is going to mean. And it doesn't mean that everything that you do is just selfish, but it does mean that when you make a decision, think about yourself. Is this healthy for you? Is this good for you? Is this situation or these people, are they good to you? Are they good for you? Is there love there? Right? Now, as we move forward, we're into the middle of the week, and we have Dim Bones, which is a judgment card. We have Bishop C.H. Manson. We have, which is a Hierophant. And then we have Big Queen and Son of Knives. Okay? And then supporting them, we have Months with Dim Bones. I Am She, which is like a woman 36 and up. It doesn't have to be a woman, but it's more than likely a woman, especially paired with this Empress card. And then we have Mars, number 9 in reverse with Son of Knives. So there's something that's been going on for some months, something in the background for months. And it may not have even been something that you told a lot of people about. It may not have been something that was, well known, because there's some shock in this judgment that takes place. But it doesn't feel like it's shock in regards to like a negative judgment on you. This feels like this is more about, in the ways that things have been out of order, the judgment that's coming because of that is shocking. And it may not be shocking to you, but it may be shocking to the people who it's coming to, right? They may not have expected for it to turn back around. And maybe there were people who didn't even believe they were in the wrong. It could be people who weren't present with themselves. So they were just completely clueless. They're just out there doing their thing, unconscious to the fact that they are causing damage, right? They're out of order. And then you have the Empress with I Am She. So this lets me know that this is a high vibrational kind of feminine energy. This is someone who she embodies those frequencies of life that allow for things to grow, to change, to shift, to transform. And so anytime someone goes against that kind of energy, there's always going to be some repercussions that may not be so lovely that come as a result of that. But during the middle of the week, you see that. And I almost feel as though the success that's coming in part, they're shocked by that. Maybe they didn't think, didn't believe, or didn't want for these things to take place, but they're taking place, because again, it is divine. It is what is truly meant to be. And then you have the Son of Knives with Mars. Okay? And the Son of Knives, obviously he's showing up with the knife. So this is not, a friendly interaction. But this particular card talks about there being some kind of battle, war, fight that is taking place before the eyes of God. And at the end of this thing, it's done, right? And this Mars card in reverse makes me feel like it's done, like this war, this aggression, this low vibrational energy that the Son of Knives is carrying is come to an end. Whatever this fight is, whatever this war is, like they showed up and didn't realize that judgment was the one that was showing up to meet them, right? They might have expected to have room to come back in and do whatever they were doing. Maybe this abuse up here, like with this Ms. Robinson card in reverse, right? Maybe they wanted to continue to do what they were doing. They felt like they were going to get away with it. They weren't expecting it, right? And so again, it goes back to the shock of that judgment card. Now, in the end of the week, we have 3 of baskets, 10 of coins, okay? And 3 of baskets with finer things in life, and then 10 of coins is with brave soul. Then you have 8 of Knives, Mother of Baskets, DM, which is the divine masculine, 7 of Baskets, Forever is a really long time with days, and then 10 of Baskets. So by the end of the week, I feel like there's a lot of celebratory energy. Again, this energy is not like without its reflection, right? So it's not like extraordinarily 100% light, but the heaviness that I feel is more so just about that reflection time, right? Being able to see what it is that has taken place, having clarity around it. And some of it may be saddening. Some of it may give you this feeling of triumph, but it feels deeply emotional. Like whatever this is really causes you emotionally to feel it. Right? And it just doesn't feel bad. It just feels like you have clarity. and the places where you didn't have clarity. And so there's a lot of things that you're releasing and letting go of, perceptions, ideas, commitments. This could be, commitments relationship wise. This could be commitment work wise. This could be commitment family wise, friends, that kind of thing. But there's this energy, regardless, that's coming in. And it's like, this phase has ended, right? And the storm has passed. And so as the storm and the storm clouds are leaving, that darkness is leaving, you can see. You can see what has happened. You can see some things that you couldn't see before, some things that may have been hidden. Things get turned upside down. And now all of a sudden you can see the underside. You can see what was really there. Now, with finer things in life and the Three of Baskets talks about a collective. It talks about more than one person or more than one relationship. And then you have the Ten of Coins, which talks about family wealth, generational wealth, inheritance, having had earned the support of the masses, right? So I keep hearing the word like rallying together. So, you could have been creating or calling forward or just connecting with groups of people, more than one person, to create whatever this thing is, to create whatever this wealth is. Because with finer things in life, there are baskets, Ten of Coins, there is a collective that is experiencing this transformation of one space into another space. Regardless to what it was, whether it was literally just doom and gloom and not having what's needed in this, and a third, to finer things in life, or whether it was just not having had quite met that goal or met whatever that thing was. And now you see this transition. You didn't do it alone though, right? This is not done alone. This is done with a collective. So anything that you have in the beginning of the week, in the middle of the week, that you're looking at, and you're trying to see what things were or what things are, know that whatever you're doing and whatever success you're having, it's not just you alone, right? So make sure this week that you're giving recognition, you're giving gratitude, you're in that reflective space so that you can really see what's taking place. And then you have Brave Soul. Okay, and it's sitting with the Ten of Coins and the Eight of Knives and the Mother of Baskets energy. This person took a leap of faith. They took a chance. They were willing to say, you know what, I'm not sure, but I'm willing to push through anyway. And so the roads are clear, right? This is someone who is brave. This is someone who is willing to face the fire, to move through whatever it is that they need to move through. But this way has been open, right? You have Mother of Baskets with her hand out. She's saying, hey, come on. You can do this. You have reached this point. You have gotten to the point where we can extend this offering. We can bring you into the fold. And all of this doom, all of this gloom, all of the things that were just kind of conflicting, whether it be arguments or just things kind of being a little wonky, that again, that phase, that time has passed. You're being invited into this new space. And then we have the Divine Masculine, right? So to have that Divine Masculine with the Mother of Baskets, there's a balancing that's taking place here. Those energies that were no longer working, or maybe they never worked, they're no longer present, right? Or if you're experiencing any of it, it's like the very tail end of it as it kind of disappears, right? So in this energy, there's balance here. And then you have the Seven of Baskets. So that balance brings clarity. Being able to come out of the valley and you're standing on the mountaintop, you have a completely different vantage point. You have the ability to see and understand what could not have been seen or understood before. Okay. And then you have Forever is a really long time with Days and Ten of Baskets. And it's interesting because this energy just really felt like, there is something that you were coming to the realization of, whether you have been thinking about it or just kind of reviewing it over the last few days, or whether there's been a transition that's taken place over the last few days. It feels like this is something that's taken place and you're really looking at those commitments, right? The Ten of Baskets talks about close family, large family, or just extended family, but it could also be those close family-like relationships, those close family ties. And you're realizing that some of those commitments, or maybe you're realizing why more so, some of those commitments and those things did not serve you. So again, you've come out of this space, but now it is time to review. Now it is time to pick up those gems and those jewels, the Seven of Coins. it's time to pick up those things of value and move on, right? Take the wisdom, take the beautiful lessons that you've learned and move on. Okay. So that is the reading for the week. It's looking really sunshiny, even with all of the deeper, more intense, reflective energies that are here. It's looking really good, because for all of this energy to come up and for this to be the theme throughout the week, it means that you all have been putting in some hard work. It means that you all have had your head down. You've been pushing through. You've been moving through. You've been overcoming. You've been doing all the things necessary, right? And so now these things are getting ready to right themselves. I feel like some of those intense energies are just those things that were out of alignment, falling back into alignment. And some of those things are things that are people that are falling away. I feel like I can feel some of their energies, right? And they're kind of like a lot of anxiety, a lot of like, egotistical kind of energy, maybe even egotistical aggression, wanting to kind of bully or push around, wanting to have their way, right? Wanting things to be their way. And you're moving away from those energies. And it feels like, this is more than one person. This could have been an energy that you saw in multiple people. This could have been energy that you saw in your environment, whether this is like home life, work life, or, just when you're out and about, just meeting these kind of energies. So congratulations on transmuting these energies and, like I said, overcoming these energies. So expect some good news this week. Expect to have reason to celebrate, kick your feet up, and really at the same time be in a space of deep gratitude and reflecting on every piece of everything and everyone that played a part to make this thing what it is. And even those people who have moved against you, right? There are certain things that you don't get without going through the fire. When I was little, my mom used to have us take bitters, just to make sure that, our immune system and all that was good. And I mean, does anybody really truly love the taste of bitters? Probably not. It's probably a few people, right? They're weirdos. No, I'm just playing. But the importance of taking those bitters were worth it. Right? Because it created an immune system and a body that was healthy, that was detoxing, that was detoxed, that was in a balanced state. And so in that same way, some of you had to bite a bullet. Some of you had to move through some fire. Some of you had to swallow some bitters, right? So that you could get to this point. Maybe you had to face yourself. Maybe you had to face your old self, people, places, things that used to be. And now you're out of that space. Now you've overcome. Now you're experiencing and understanding why those bitters were so important. All right. I feel like there's also going to be some witnessing of some of this stuff happening or coming. You may see some stuff, you may hear some stuff, and it may not be like directly right in front of you or said to your face, but you're going to see and you're going to recognize what it is when you see it. And I feel like that's only going to help to pump you up and keep you moving forward, just to confirm that you are in the right place. You are doing the right things. Okay. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because anybody that's telling you otherwise is wanting to bleed away from that or bleed out that energy of success and prosperity and love. And they may not all even be doing it intentionally. Misery loves company. So in this time, in this energy, there are a lot of people who are miserable. There are a lot of people who are coming up against themselves. And a lot of those people may find this person who's brave, this person that is pure of heart, this person who is doing what they need to do, taking care of business, to be a threat, right, to their own understanding and comfortability with themselves. They're already uncomfortable. They're already feeling kind of, not where they want to be or who they want to be. That's going to trigger them. So as you're moving through your week, just give gratitude. Give gratitude for all of the spaces that you've been in, because they've all brought you to the space that you're in now. And with that, I'm going to close out this reading. I want to thank you all for listening. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and we will touch bases next week. Unless, of course, Spirit has other plans, but we should get another reading next week. Anyway, I love you all, and we'll talk soon. Bye.